I think when it comes to challenges, these domestic workers, they're in a foreign country. They don't speak the language. They're not familiar with the legal system. So they do face a lot of challenges when it comes to accessing support, accessing their rights, making sure that they are able to enforce their rights. As JP said, many of these domestic workers get only 1 day off a week. And most of the time, this 1 day is on a Sunday, when a lot of the services, a lot of the organizations that support them are closed. So even when the domestic worker is facing problems, they find it difficult to get suitable or timely support. And sometimes at HELP, we see domestic workers who've been in situations of abuse or exploitation for 6 to 7 months at a time who haven't been able to get the assistance because of this fact. And then in addition to that, this does make them vulnerable to added exploitation, whether it's from employment agencies, whether it's from their employment conditions, or even other bad actors like people who are looking to launder money and do financial crime. These domestic workers get caught to these situations.
Right. Manisha, this is JP Ong. The other thing we also have to face when we talk about the plight of domestic workers is also the potential of them actually being trafficked illegally to some of these countries. We do know of some reports of women who go to Malaysia, for instance, as in the hopes of being domestic helpers, and then they are suddenly turned into drug mules by certain syndicates. We've seen some of those reports in the past, and other instances very similar. What more can actually be done to make sure that before they even get to their places of employ, they are not already trafficked or exploited from day zero?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest issues that we see with the community, especially those who face situations of trafficking, forced labor, is the lack of access to information and the lack of access to practical support. There's a lot of misinformation, and in this day and age, misinformation is a big thing. And this is the same with the domestic worker community. Sometimes they are preyed on by these employment agencies, by these traffickers, and given false hope, false information, saying, countries like Hong Kong, Singapore, these destinations where they are promised all these great things which might not be real. And then when they come here, they are put into terrible situations, sometimes working 16 to 18 hours a day, we have seen at HELP, being subjected to physical or sexual abuse. So information is one of the big things. And then just making sure that the monitoring and enforcement structures are strong. I think that's the other thing where we see traffickers. They shut down and reopen because of the fact that we need to make these structures strong.